let's look at finish up this practice exam. We did these here. Yeah, so I gave you this. Make sure you look at this here. I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger font. Okay. So with those words, those 5 words, we use was as our relative pronoun. Okay. Then sometimes, like I said at the end of class, sometimes with locations, we might use, we're talking about a place where, if in English you would say where, that's the ice cream parlor where I had the best ice cream ever. That's also considered a relative pronoun referring back to a location. So they use the word wo for that. So that should sound similar to English if you see that. Don't be looking, there's no article. Well, you could say that's the ice cream parlor at which, but wo gets you the same place and easier. Let's keep going. 19. Ich esse die Schokolade blank so gut schmeckt. So in this part of the sentence, die Schokolade is the DO. But with feminine, we don't have as many changes. D stays D, then it changes if it's going to be dative. But what about after the comma? What role does it play? Blank so gut schmeckt. If it were the sentence, it would say, die Schokolade schmeckt so gut. Yeah. So it's a subject. So what would be the article we're going to use for D? Right. Right. And if you find yourself guessing and you've got it's a feminine word you're trying to relate back to, then D would be a 2 out of 3, 66% success rate. All right. Wir trinken den Wein. So here's the thing we're going to relate back to. I know by seeing that it's den Wein that it's most likely it's the direct object here. Den only occurs one other time, but it's not going on here. So we drink the wine. We're doing the drinking. What we're drinking is the wine. That's a DO. That's accusative. Then let's see what happens after that. But it's also, I can tell it's masculine because den Wein comes from der Wein. So when I come over to the other side of the comma, like I said, it's a clean slate. We're going to have a subject and a verb. The subject could be the thing we're in the first part of the sentence, but it could be a whole different thing. And here, wir is the subject after the comma in the relative clause. So wir kaufen, and what do we buy in the supermarket? Wir trinken den Wein blank wir im Supermarkt kaufen. So I've already got a subject. I've got a verb. This is a prepositional phrase. Where I buy it, but what happens to, is it der Wein or den Wein, or what's it going to be over here? Den, because on both sides of the sentence, it's the direct object. We're in the first part talking about drinking the wine, and in the second part we're talking about where we buy it. So look. If you look here, you got wir trinken on this side of the comma, subject verb. On this side, you got wir kaufen. And the thing that you're buying or drinking or buying is den Wein. And that makes it a direct object because it's what you're drinking or buying. Meine Schwester. Here's another. See, you have some hints here with the gender. If you don't know the gender of Freund, I hope you do. But hat einen neuen Freund. Okay, there's the direct object. She has a new boyfriend. Blank ich nicht mag. It'd be the DO because ich has to be the subject. Here's the verb, like. I don't like him. So what would be the article? What would be the relative pronoun we would use? Den. So you see the connection between, since it's the DO over here, but look here, einen, en. Even on the adjective ending, en. But this is most important. N and so we don't have to use the definite article like most of these have been in the first part. Ist das die Stadt? ich esse die Schokolade, wir trinken den Wein, and then all of a sudden, meine Schwester hat einen neuen. It's still a noun, just has an indefinite article in front of it. But when we go back to making it into a relative pronoun in the second part of the sentence, we go back to those, mostly what's on the chart there. Den ich nicht mag. Okay, let's skip down here. I skipped some of these yesterday. No, that was okay. Good. Okay, let's just do this. This will just be, it's because you know that in the relative clause, the verb gets pushed to the end of that clause. It could be the end of the sentence, but it doesn't have to be, like we'll see in 23 here. But it gets pushed to the end of the relative clause, conjugated with the subject in that relative clause. So this one says, der Hund, der schwarz blank, and we're going to use the verb sein in this blank here, ist sehr lieb und freundlich, very sweet and friendly. Der Hund, der schwarz, so der refers back to what? It's masculine, but what is it relating back to before the comma? There's only one thing before the comma. The dog, der Hund. And so since it's just the dog, what's going to go in the blank as a form of sein? Think about it in English. The dog, which blank black, is. What would be in German? Ist. And ist is a form of sein. It's extremely irregular, like it is in English.
It's just confusing because there's ist and there's ist again right after the comma.
It is confusing, but think about, in English it would be separated by one word. The dog, which is black, is, black in the middle. It's only because German pushes that verb to the end. I know what you're saying, because I remember thinking that same thing in high school and college, so I was thinking, that just didn't sound right, but Germans just rattle past this, because they're beginning a new phrase there. Die Frau, die mein Handy. All right, so what does this D refer back to? We only got one thing in front of it, so what does this D refer back to? Die Frau, right? Okay, so it's just one woman, and we're going to conjugate haben, as if the word Frau were within this phrase. What would it be then? What form of haben?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Hat.
H-A-T?
Yes.
Hat, yeah. Die Frau, die mein Handy hat, ist im Restaurant. All right. So you loaned your phone to somebody, and they trotted off in the restaurant. They're canceling your reservation and they're taking it from you. All right. Here's a plural one. Das sind die Männer, Männer plural of der Mann. Das sind die Männer, die gerne Schach. You know what Schach is? Schach spielen. It's a game. At the end, you get to say Schachmatt.
Chess.
Chess, thank you. Die Männer, das sind die Männer, die gerne Schach. Is this referring back to a plural word?
Yes.
To die Männer. So what form of spielen is going to go in the blank here? The full form. Plural gets the full form. Die Männer, that's not really, no, okay. Das sind die Männer, die gerne Schach, those are the men who like playing chess. Das sind die Männer, die gerne Schach spielen. I'm going to underline these for clarity. Good. Good. Does this help any? This is the other side of the thing. This verb at the end of the sentence is das Auto, das ich blank ist blau. So here's the only word in front of the comma, das Auto. So what is this das referring to? Right, but what's the subject though of this within these two commas? 9. Ich. It has to be ich because ich can only be a subject. If it were not, it would be mich or mir or some other form, but I. In English too, I is always the subject. Well, I'm sure there's an exception, but das ich, so what, how does sehen go together with sehen? This is old school rules. What do we do? Ich sehe. Das Auto, the car that I see is blue. Das Auto, das ich sehe, ist blau. Good. Now, this is going to get a little trickier here. Der Mann. Okay. So, well, not so tricky really, just more information here. There's only one word in front of the comma. So we know what we're dealing with. Der refers back to der Mann. Der Mann, der einen Hut auf dem Kopf. What form of haben we use with der Mann? The singular hat. What's confusing is that hat and Hut und hat. See what I did there? Der Mann, der einen Hut auf dem Kopf hat. Oh, come on, guys. You know, it's not easy making German grammar humor. I gotta tell you. It's not easy making anything German funny, but okay. Right. Yeah, when you're there and they're in your face, it comes to you easily. But everyone see what we're doing in these 5 or 6 sentences here? We're not dealing with relative pronouns. That's already given to you. But the other rule within the pronoun, we've been focused on we talked about this too, but more focused on the rule of, what relative pronoun we're going to use. Der, die, das, den, maybe was, maybe wo in some case. And then, but the verb goes to the end of that relative clause. That's why we have ist here at the end of this phrase in front of the comma. Hat in front of the comma. Spielen happens to be at the end of the sentence. And also the end of the phrase. So, hat here. This is, and I made this, okay, other than being extremely clever and anyway, this is a little bit longer phrase, right? Der einen Hut auf dem Kopf. You could have added more things. Der einen Hut auf dem Kopf in der Schule. But at the very end of that phrase, before the comma, hat. But hat goes along with the subject of this phrase, der, which refers back to der Mann. Man, that's a lot of information. Okay. Let's see what else we got. We did those, right?
Yeah.
Did we finish? Yeah. Wow, we're done with the test then. You got 33 questions, about that many? That sound good?
Yeah.
So you guys will you be here Monday?
No, group A is on Tuesday.
Okay, all right. So you guys are group A. So you'll take the test on Wednesday. Is that right?
We're in school.
No, Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Tuesday, take the test.
Tuesday.
The other group takes it on Wednesday. Yeah. Caden, you're taking it on. There he is, man.
Okay.
That sound good?
Yeah.
So that doc that I shared with you yesterday is a live doc, unless you copied it. But so all the answers that I plugged in should be on it. And if you need me to share it with you, let me know. With the answers filled in. Any questions, Caden? I'm sorry, I had you muted.
No.
I mean, you could have muted me too, Right? I mean, where's the microphone in this computer? Is the microphone in the camera?
I thought it was like almost the bottom right. I don't know.
In the camera?
Oh.
Or is it in the computer?
I think it's in the computer.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
Built in somewhere.
Creepy. Hey, Caden. Caden.
Yeah.
Tell me if you can hear me better in a minute, okay?
Okay.
Do I sound louder now?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's see here. I don't know where it is. I don't see a dot or any, like even, maybe it's inside the speaker. Caden, you got a Phillips head screwdriver? One of the little small ones like you wear eyeglasses with. Are you getting sick now? You feel a little nauseous? Like you're watching the Blair Witch Project. See that movie, Caden? Blair Witch? Caden, talk to me.
What?
Man, don't fall asleep. Have you seen Blair Witch Project?
Oh, sorry.
Have you seen Blair Witch Project?
I have not.
I want you to watch that tonight.
Okay.
That's your homework.
All right.
Still on it. Okay, man. I'm going to cut you loose.
Okay.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Okay. Cheers.
Yeah.